All right, in this video, I'm going to go over how to set up the Arduino, which we will be using as a motion sensor for this week's lab. So hopefully all of you have gotten a package in the mail, either delivered to your house if you're not on campus, or you should get a slip in your campus mailbox if you're on campus. So in that, you'll have a package which will contain quite a few things. Most of those we won't be using this week. Some of them we won't be using at all. But for this week, all we need is the motion sensor, which is this, which should have been inside the Altoids can with the clip glued to the top. These wires, which you want, there are two different types of wires that are included in the kits that you've been sent. These have pins on one end and sockets on the other end. You'll need those four of those. You'll need the Arduino itself, which is this board, which has a microcontroller on it, which you can program. You'll just be using a program that I provided, and then you'll need the USB cable. As far as installing the software, I'll provide a link, but there is a web page I'll briefly show. It has, here, let me show the web page. Okay, so this is the web page. They have different installers for the different operating systems. It should install just like any other program, so I'm not really going to go over that. Hopefully you don't have any trouble getting the program installed, but it shouldn't be difficult. So then once you have the program installed, the program will look something like this. I've already loaded the file for the program that I wrote for this, and I will provide this to you just as a text file, which you can open in this Arduino. It's called an IDE, Integrated Design Environment, but you don't need to worry too much about the code. It's already set up for you. I'll just go over how we're going to set things up. But the first thing is actually I'm gonna stop presenting again. And the first thing we should probably do is actually hook the sensor up to the Arduino. So this is the sensor, like I said. It basically consists of a speaker and a microphone. So the T is the transmitter, which is basically a speaker, and the R is the receiver, which is basically a microphone. They do look exactly the same, but yeah, one of them functions as the transmitter and one as the receiver. And then you have 4 pins, which are labeled VCC, trigger, echo, and ground. And yeah, the way this works is just by sending sound out and then listening for an echo and determining the distance to the object that the echo was from based on the time. Now on the Arduino itself, we have on this side ground, 5 volts, 3.3 volts, and some other assorted things. And then on the other side, we've just got a bunch of numbered sockets. So I'll be referring to the holes where you put pins into as sockets, and then these as pins. Sometimes people also call them male and female connectors or other things. But first, all we need to do is put the socket ends of the wire onto the pins from the sensor. So just need to line them all up at once if you can. I mean, you can put them on one by one, but it's easier to just get them all on there. So now I have black going to ground, white going to echo, gray going to trigger, and purple going to VCC. So now on the other end, we want VCC to be 5 volts, which I said was purple. So we want to put the purple pin in the 5-volt socket. And black was ground, so we want to put the black pin in the ground socket. And then in the program, I have set it up so that pin 5 is trigger and pin 6 is echo. So we just want to do gray for trigger in 5, white for echo in 6. And obviously, if you're using different colored wires, it will be different. The color of the wires doesn't matter, but you just need to make sure that you have the wire going from VCC to the 5 volts, wire from trigger to pin 5, wire from echo to pin 6, and ground to ground. Then once you have done that, what you should do is plug the USB cable into your computer and the other end into this port on the Arduino. So like that, and then just the other end into your computer. And some lights should probably flash. So now that we have everything plugged in how it should be, I'm going to show my screen again, and we're going to go to the Arduino program. So in the program, like I said, you don't need to understand this. This is just to set up the sensor. But a few important numbers are that's where I've defined the pin. So like I said, trigger is going into the 5th socket really, but the trigger pin is in the 5th socket. The echo pin is in the 6th socket. And the other important thing is this serial rate is 115,200, which we'll use later. Right now, first thing you need to do is go to board, and I already have selected Arduino Uno. That's the type of board we'll be using, so you need to select that. Then you'll have to go to port, and mine already has the correct USB port selected, but there will be a list of devices and USB ports here, and hopefully one will say Arduino, and it will be clear which one to use. So if you're going to want to upload the code, so you're just going to, with the board plugged into the USB of your computer, because obviously you need to plug in the USB before you can even see the board on this port. You're going to click the upload button, which is here, and it will compile the code and upload it. Once it has done that, you should go to Tools and then Serial Monitor, and it should automatically spit out this time and position. And when you first do this, you may get gibberish. So let me show you this is also the serial rate, which you need to set separately here. So if I set it to the wrong thing, it's probably going to give me, it's going to give me gibberish like that. So if you see gibberish like that, that most likely means that you have the wrong rate. So you need to make sure that it's set to the one that's in the code. And it will say time in seconds and position in meters. And so to record data, all you're going to need to do is type start in all capital letters, hit enter, and it will start recording data. And right now I have the sensor just pointing at the ceiling. So that is the distance from the sensor to the ceiling. If I put my hand above the sensor, you can see it was at 2 meters, which was the distance to the ceiling. Now it's at 20 centimeters because there were 20 centimeters. Now there's 10 centimeters between my hand and the sensor. And it moves, it records data fairly quickly and fairly accurately. It can lose track of, if something's not lined up with it. If I move my hand to the side, it's going to get the ceiling and then get my hand again. But it can quickly and accurately measure the position of objects. To stop, all you do is hit enter again, and it will stop. If you want to, so we will be using this data in Excel or Google Sheets to analyze it. So on Mac, you would just hit Control-A, Control-C, and that would copy it. Or actually, on Mac, it's Command-A, Command-C. On Windows and Linux, it would be Control-A, Control-C. And then you can paste it into a a spreadsheet. I'll go over that in a bit or in a different video. But as far as if you want to, like, let's say this data was not good, or I've already saved it to a spreadsheet or whatever. If I want to take another run, I'm just going to hit clear output. It's going to clear all of that. And then if I want to record again, I click start in capitals. And then whenever I want to start recording, I hit enter. When I want to stop, I hit enter again, and it stops. So yeah, hopefully it's not too difficult for you guys to get set up to this point, where you can, just point the motion sensor at things and it will tell you the distance. If you do have trouble, I mean, you can try to Google a little bit, but if you're really having trouble, just contact me and I'll do my best to help you get set up. So I guess that's it for this video.